Our final presentation at the D2C Learning Lounge today is how real engagement drives up conversion rates. From Web Metro, here's Karen Helweg.
Hello and welcome. I'm excited to share with you share with you my presentation today about how engagement drives up conversion. My name is Karen Helweg. I'm the VP of User Engagement at Web Metro, and we are a digital customer acquisition company focused on driving up ROI for our client campaign. My charter is to make sure we monetize the web traffic that comes to landing pages and websites at the most effective rate. So with that, I'll jump right into it. The foundation for our landing page programs is really a very, very simple formula. Context plus relevance drives conversion. What does context mean? Context is the nature of the consumer intent. It is the who, the what, and the where. Understanding exactly what the consumer is looking for, understanding who they are, and where they're coming from is incredibly important in order for us to deliver relevant landing pages. The deeper knowledge and the more granular data you have about context, the better you can deliver a landing page experience that is relevant. The higher the relevance, the higher probability for conversion. And when we look at conversion, we look at something we call profitable conversions. So our conversions, we do obviously convert for increased revenue growth, but we also optimize for business and operational efficiencies. That means we don't just open the floodgates and let a volume of calls come into your call center and bog them down if it's not the right type of conversions. It's very important to make that distinction. In order to execute this formula, what we need is data. And we have a 3-step data ladder. It goes from very light to deep, heavy data. The first step is anything we can collect about the user before they come to the website. It's a lot of media metrics, so anything that tells us about customer journey, their footprint online, what other websites have they been to, have they been engaged socially, have they been on review site, where have they been, what do we know about them. We also use competitive tools to gather this type of insights. So we have a good idea what the user wants and is interested in before they get to our landing page or website. The best source for that obviously is PPC keywords. There's nothing that gives us more granular insight than a hand raiser who raised their hand and say, I want a cheap solution to whatever my problem is. Once they get to the website, what we focus on there is tracking the behavior of a conversion. And by that I mean really looking at the different paths for a conversion. So there's multiple different paths, there's different types of consumers, there's different levels of engagement with content. All those types of things is things we track both with web tracking tools, what we call engagement tools, so front-end engagement tools. And the one thing that is also very important is to find data points on the people who do not convert, the people who don't take that third step and get into our back end, but the people who really leave, but because either they were not the right customer or they didn't find what they were looking for. So adding a simple exit survey, just asking them 3 simple questions. Why did you come? What were you looking for? What was it you didn't find? Did you not find what you were looking for? That gives us, really good insight into, and it gives us an idea of how to plug some leaks on the landing page right off the bat. The third step on the ladder is where we have the real deep data. That's where we can combine all our media metrics with the data backend from telemarketing, from your CRM databases, from sales data, with legacy data from the BI systems for business intelligence. So we get a very full picture of what actually happened. And we have our lab of statisticians mine that data, analyze the data, map it back against our our media metric and to give us an understanding of where the opportunities for optimization lies, so we can spend our money smarter upfront on the media, and so we spend our money against the segments that convert, and we do the same on our landing pages as well. We optimize them against the segments that actually convert. But as you can see, it is not a one single data stream coming in a nice tool. It is a bit of a patchwork. Our dashboard is a composite of a lot of different tools. We use data from Google Analytics. Below here you can see the heat map, that's a ClickTail, giving an idea of how people really are engaging on core pages on the website. We look at Hitwise data, so that's thing that gives us both attribution data, so we can get an idea of the footprint online. And then we also have data from our testing platform, which in this particular case is Optimizely, from our proprietary data store that capture all the media, that's DSMM, and then from our lab in Israel that gives us the model of, in this particular case, a decision tree that gives us an idea of when and how are people making decisions online, and where can we apply that against it. So we have this, deep insight. We analyze it in my group. We look for opportunities to identify how we're going to act on this data. So there's, in conversion rate optimization, 3 primary actions, right? You can either create a radical redesign, come up with a brand new landing page, continuous optimize, tweak your performance cluster, or you can go in and identify unique segments of consumer intent and deliver experiences that wrap really closely around those. Radical redesign, well, if you're looking at it like you see a complete disconnect between what you've discovered about the customer intent and what currently is on your landing page portfolio, then you need to go out and redesign your landing page to make sure there's a perfect alignment between the landing page and consumer intent. That is often the times where you see the biggest bump on your conversion rate, right? That's when you see that nice double-digit or even triple-digit impact on your conversion rate. But it's also a big disruption, so there is a higher risk associated with it, and there certainly is a higher investment associated with it. Continuous optimization, you should do that no matter whether you start with segmentation or radical redesign. There's always opportunity for incremental gain when you do conversion rate optimization. So looking at what we call the performance cluster, the things you find when you go to step 2 in our data ladder, right? When you see what is the behavior of an actual conversion, where is it? Is it headlines, buttons, forms? Which part of the content you have on your site is what help you drive that conversion? And so tweaking endlessly gives you really, really strong impact on bottom line, but it's in smaller incremental gains over time. Last is what I'm the most excited about, that's our segmentation. So identifying, right, going back to the formula, context plus relevance equal conversion. If you can identify unique customer intent, and then wrap an experience around that, you're going to get more better leads. What does that mean? It's higher quality from a smaller volume. You're going to peel away at all the waste that you have from other media, and you're going to be seeing significant impact. So we have a process and a way we go about identifying profitable segments. If you lift the hood under any average performing landing pages, you will see that conversions are a composite of so many different variables, right? There's any kind of keywords, media, devices, user personas, target audiences, day parting, locations. There's so many different variables that comprise that conversion. The question is, which ones are the most important ones? There's also the key things that you, the marketer, use, right? There's the key motivators, so any kind of incentive. How important is discount? How important is a gift? Doesn't matter. It's not going to matter for everybody. So figuring out where that is important is really something that can help you save money and spend your money smarter. Engagement, the same thing. If it's all about video, then you need to produce more video. If it's fine with product shots and other things, and you see engagement being defined differently on your website, then that's what you should focus on. We engage our lab of statisticians. We have them go through, mine this data. So that is really the science part of our conversion rate optimization group. They come back and they identify some profitable clusters. They're saying, okay, there's an average best performing and there's a lot of smaller segments, not necessarily the most profitable ones, but there's these unique clusters of segments that drive huge conversion rates. So focus on those. What we do is then, see, sometimes it can be like a single keyword, right? A lot of times, I'm sure you guessed it, brand is a single keyword people search for, and that can be something that can comprise a unique experience. A lot of other times, it is a combination of factors. So here I added 3 examples of segments you can uncover this way. The first one is a mobile shopper starting the shopping process on YouTube. What does that mean? So look at it this way. You have a shopper, they go to Sephora, they're looking for a specific product, they're overwhelmed by the amount of choices. They go back and go, okay, which one is right for me? They sit down for lunch, they go on their mobile, they go onto YouTube to see the product reviews, to see makeup tutorials, things like that. And at that point, when they are engaged in that way, that's when you want to really be relevant. You know it's upper funnel, they're still in that comparison decision-making mode, but you need to be inserted in that time. And then if they're going back to Sephora after their lunch, you want to make sure it's your product that they go and purchase. Or if they or make it even better, have them buy it right off the mobile right then and there. So that's one example. The second example is one of operational efficiency, right? Suddenly on one of our landing pages, we see a huge influx of candidates looking for jobs for the companies. It's great for the HR department, but it's not a place we want to spend our marketing dollars. How could that happen? Maybe we ran a campaign on Monster, maybe we ran a campaign on LinkedIn, and in addition to targeted targets we were really looking for, we are getting a different target audience that was never meant to come to our landing pages. So we get this information, and the first thing we do is look at how can we negative these guys out at each step of the process. It may be a 3-step process. Maybe the first thing we do is adding a link on our landing pages saying, looking for the career center, click here. So then we get them off and get them in the right direction to the career center on the brand side. Second step will be to really look at it from a media efficiency perspective and make sure we understand where exactly there's a disconnect, and we then negative out that media so we do not get that traffic to the website to begin with, because we do not want to spend our marketing dollars recruiting candidates to the company. So that's really how, when I talk about creating efficiencies, we don't want these guys calling in. We don't want to pay for the media. We know they're important for the company, but they're not important for marketing. So this is a way of isolating and removing waste through segmentation. The last segment is the segment we all love. That's the shopper, right? If we see that for our product during the primary shopping time during the work week is in lunch, so it's between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m., we get flooded with traffic. So it's great, why do we need to do anything? Because that's when you have your highest opportunity, right? That's the lowest hanging fruit. You have huge volume. The question is, how do you monetize that better? How do you monetize it better? Is it a matter of creating unique discounts during that time? Is it a matter of tweaking CTAs, media, other things? All those things are things you want to consider and make sure that you make the most. You paid for the traffic, you have it there, reduce the waste and optimize against that with different techniques. So I want to show you how segmentation look. Here you see same landing pages, 3 segments. Well, 3.5 actually, but I'll get to the half in a moment. You can see they're very, very different. Segment 1, there we see huge content consumption, right? Content is really important. That segment is going in, they need to learn. And as a matter of fact, if you look closely, you will see they want more content. There isn't enough content on that page. They actually, how do I know? Because I can see that they're clicking in the footer on the About link. So they're clearly not finding all the content that they want. So in order to execute optimization here, what would I do? I would go ahead and create more relevant content to ensure I better engage that audience and thereby increase my conversion rate. How about segment 2? Completely different. That's my transactional audience, right? All they want to do is transact. They're ready to buy. So what do I do there? I don't care about the content. All I would do here is focus on optimizing my form, driving them further down the funnel to the best of my ability, adding incentives, really optimizing against that unique intent. Give them price points, pull them in, drive them down the funnel. Segment number 3 has an A and a B version. The first segment, they're segments for 2 different media outlets. The first outlet you can see is fully engaged with the top part of the page and really more engaged with the visuals. So here, if we find that's a profitable segment, we may want to go in and really tweak the visual components of the landing page and look at way of better engaging and increasing conversion rates that way. Segment number 3B looks strikingly similar to segment 1, right? And that's one of those things. We look at that and we go, okay, so if I finish my optimization cycle here for segment 1, maybe that's a place I can go in and I can leverage that segmentation and go in and optimize for my 3B segment as well. So it's very important to understand. And I think you can see here, it's the same landing page. It's an existing landing page that performs good, well, average speaking, but by looking at the segments and addressing the different needs of these segments, we really increase the conversion rate. A lot of times when we go in our segmentation, we see 3x, 4x, growth on our conversions. Yes, it's a much smaller volume, but it's more better leads. So we are converting, have a higher quality leads. We're sending into the system, so we are seeing a lot better results this way. And the investment is minimal combined to just look at what you spend on media or call center practice or anything else. This investment is minimal, and it's maybe one of the most important things that you can do in terms of optimizing your landing pages. With that, I'll leave you with my final thought, that I hope you agree with me that just focusing on average best performing landing pages, it just doesn't cut it anymore. Looking at identifying these profitable segments and optimizing against that, that's the way, the only and the best and the most economic way to really maximizing monetization of your web traffic. And with that, thank you.